Chicago Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. The Chicago Bulls hosting the Washington Bullets. Hello again, everyone. I'm Charlie Neal, along with Bill Russell. Fifth meeting of the year between these two teams. The series is tied at 2 games apiece, with each team winning on their own home courts. And Bill Russell, the Washington Bullets have not played very well on the road as of late. They are in the midst of a 7-game road losing streak, and it's very important with the playoffs coming up in that battle for that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot. They are battling Chicago, Washington, of course, and Indiana also in there.
Yeah, they're in there tough, and they're playing to avoid Boston, although I don't think Atlanta will be a prize. But the team that, out of those 3, that when they get in the playoffs, they're going to have to play on the road, because they're going to be on the road for all their series, and if they can't play on the road and win on the road, they'll have an early vacation.
And one of the things that's plagued the Bullets this year is injury problems. They have not had a consistent lineup all year long.
Well, it's a little more than Michael Jordan, but they have not made sufficient progress to be a real tough playoff team, because not enough guys have, their games have not come forward enough to carry them through the playoffs, so that they're going to have to really have a miracle if they're going to advance past the first round of playoffs.
Okay, it should be an exciting game. Always is when these two teams get together. The Bullets are 2-13 against Central Division teams, and I'm sure they would like to change that around tonight. We'll be back with the starting lineup from Chicago Stadium. It's the Bullets against the Bulls in just a moment. Charlie Neal and Bill Russell back here at Chicago Stadium. The lineups for tonight's game for the Washington Bullets. Terry Catledge, who did not practice yesterday because of a swollen knee, and it was kind of questionable as whether he was going to play or not tonight, will start at his normal forward spot along with Jay Vincent. Moses Malone will get his first start since being on the injured list. He's been back. This will be the 3rd game that he's returned to the lineup, and this will be his first start since coming back. Enos Whatley and Jeff Malone in the backcourt as far as the Washington Bullets are concerned, as you look at Kevin Lockery in his 15th year in the NBA. Meanwhile, for the Chicago Bulls, we have Eugene Banks along with Charles Oakley up front. Corzine will be in the middle. John Paxson and Michael Jordan are the guards, and, of course, Doug Williams, I should say Doug Collins, is the head coach. And there's the team's record in his first year as head coach, and he's done a great job with this young team.
Yes, they've made a lot of progress. As I said in the opening, though, there are a couple of guys that here's the Eastern Conference standing. There are a couple of guys that should have made a little more progress, and what I mean by that is Michael Jordan is a dominant force. The way you approach him as a teammate is very important. He can be a tremendous asset or can be a tremendous burden. It depends on the way you approach him individually and psychologically.
And he has not played that well against the Bullets this year. They've held him to about 23 points a game. His season average is about 37.
Well, see, he can help because teams are double teaming him. They're finding ways to try to contain him. If they contain him, that means someone else is open. And the Bulls have not taken full advantage of that, I think, as they probably could have or should have.
And Jordan, driving the baseline, has it kicked away as the Bulls control the opening tap. Jack Neese and Hugh Hollins are officials for tonight's game. Kevin Lockery, 45% winning percentage. And from long range, Michael Jordan hits it to 2-pointer, and the Bulls take a 2-0 lead.
Because Michael Jordan's an excellent passer, although I wish he'd passed a little more on his feet instead of in the air. And he's a good defensive player. And he's a team player. He came from a very fine program in North Carolina. And they won the NCAA championship.
Jeff Malone can't get it to fall as he drove the lane. Outlet, here's Michael Jordan going one-on-one over Whatley. And it's 4-0 Chicago.
Michael Jordan, anyone on the run and open court is a mismatch.
We're just underway. 11:05 left first quarter. Whatley getting it down low to Catledge. She has the left knee bandaged pretty heavily. Oakley grabs the rebound, and Paxson comes up with it.
This is an interesting matchup of Jeff Malone and Michael Jordan. Although they switch along the line, it's almost like the Bullets are playing a zone, but that's not the shot that the Cards won, I don't think.
Moses couldn't get the rebound, but Jeff Malone comes out with it. Off the left side to Whatley, and he has it partially blocked by Oakley, and Corzine sweeps the boards. And the Bullets have still not gotten on the scoreboard yet. Bullets are 0 for 3 from the field goal.
Now the double team is there. That means someone's open.
Oakley,
They
baseline,
didn't pay for it.
6-0 run.
See, because Michael Jordan is the type of passer that can pass not to get rid of the ball, just to get rid of the ball, but to make a play. And it's important to have a guy that has the ball that much to be able to make a pass to make a play.
Moses double team, Corzine on one side, Paxson on the other, and he is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. So Moses working hard inside.
And that double team doesn't help us there.
Especially when you have a guy like Paxson on the other side of him, right? And we have a 20-second timeout, and it's going to be the Bullets taking the 20-second timeout. Moses Malone, as I mentioned earlier, first game back as a starter since sitting out 8 games with that nerve problem in his neck. And he was a little worried about what was happening. It was not responding to the treatment that he was taking. And against Dallas last Saturday, he had 26 points. That was his second game back. He had 23 in his first return in a game that they beat the Celtics at the Cap Center.
He's got a lot of nerve.
So Moses will go to the free throw line. He's the team's second or leading scorer. Jeff Malone is the second leading scorer. Washington 1 for 4 from the field so far. Chicago Bulls are shooting 3 for 4. Moses at the free throw line shooting 82%, almost 83%. And he misses. Jordan gets the rebound. And it remains 6-2. Banks, Jordan, baseline, turn around, and he is fouled by Jeff Malone. So Michael will go to the line.
Why is it tonight? I'm going to go over again what I was talking about when playing with a guy like Michael Jordan. If you realize how easy he can make the game for you, because there's so much attention paid to him that your man is almost never gives you full attention, and you take advantage of that, he can be a tremendous help. But if you have any resentment to his notoriety, we'll say, or that the fact that he shoots quite a bit, shoots a lot, then with that attitude, he won't be of much help to you. But if you accept the help, he can be a tremendous asset, and this could be a real good basketball team.
Michael has 6 of his team's 8 points, and it's an 8-2 lead by the Chicago Bulls. Equals their biggest lead so far. 6 points as Whatley works the right side, working against Paxson. Vincent spinning inside. Nice move by Jay Vincent, but it wouldn't fall. Gene Banks comes down with it. Michael Jordan has it on the right side. He's going one-on-one, a little shake and bake. Gets it inside to Banks, back out to Paxson. There he goes. He took the running left-hander, but it wouldn't fall for him. It stayed up there long enough.
It was a soft shot.
Malone, Jeff Malone.
And the last game I worked in Washington, he had an awful night. He went 1 for 14, Jeff Malone did.
He has not had great shooting nights as of late, as Moses works hard for 2. But he has played well against the Bulls.
What can happen to a guy that, especially a scorer, he can just work himself out of rhythm. You know, it doesn't happen in one game. It just sort of goes away, and unless you go back and look at film and things and see what you're doing wrong, it's very difficult to break the slump.
Corzine with that last basket for the Bulls, and they take a 10-4 lead right now with 8:35 left in the first quarter. Jeff Malone against Oakley, and he puts up the left-hander.
That'll get you out of a slump.
High percentage shot, right down the lane, layup. 2 points for Jeff Malone. That's his first 2 of the night as Oakley turns around. Moses grabs the rebound.
Good outlet pass by Moses.
Whatley, as far as the assist is concerned, picks up one right there to Jeff Malone.
And the key to that play was a good outlet pass that Moses had. After he got the rebound, he got the ball to the point guard on the move, and that's why Malone was wide open.
Whatley holds the assist record here at Chicago Stadium when he was a member of the Chicago Bulls playing for Kevin Lockery here. Oakley directing traffic. He's become a big guard, isn't he?
6'8", 250 point guard.
Corzine turn around. No good. Oakley with the tap. And a tap again. 12-8.
Well, he ends up with the basket. I guess he must have sent traffic in the right direction.
7.5 minutes left here, first quarter.
But that's The traffic he was directing will not break the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, I can tell you that.
Jeff Malone, tough shot over Jordan.
You know, a lot of things, like a guy like Jeff Malone, who's a real good player, and gets in a one-on-one with Jordan, a lot of times it makes him play much better. Because he wants to show people that Mike's not the only player out there.
Jeff Malone trying to heat it up. He has hit 3 in a row, and he missed on that one. Paxson, good pass to Jordan. Moses with the block. Moses with the rebound. No foul. A lot of bodies flying, though. Jay Vincent.
Left hand, right hand, whatever.
And it's tied at 12. First time that the game has been tied.
It's a pretty good pace on this game. But at this point, it would favor the Bullets.
Oakley against Catledge. No good. Moses Malone with the rebound. Now the Bullets have a chance to take their first lead of the night. Whatley goes down. Jay Vincent driving against Gene Banks.
And that's going to be 3 seconds.
3-second violation. And it's going to be a timeout on the floor with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's all tied at 12. Welcome back to Chicago Stadium. Charlie Neal along with Bill Russell, and talking about the TBS efficiency rating. We'll take the field goals and the free throws and rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals, and minus the missed field goals, free throws, and turnovers. And even though players play different positions, there's a lot of comparisons there.
Yes.
Well, you see what's happening with Moses. 24 points a game as opposed to Michael Jordan, and efficiency rating is only about 2 points. Field goal shooting so far. Washington shot 54%, Chicago 35% here in the first quarter. Kevin Lockery has to be concerned, as we talked about earlier, Bill, going into the playoffs with a disastrous road record. They lost their first 7 road games at the beginning of the year. Then they all of a sudden caught on fire, was winning everything that they did on the road, as Michael Jordan goes along the baseline there to give the Bulls a 14-12 lead. And then as of late, again, they've fallen into that slump.
Well, I think the injuries has a lot to do with it the last month. They have never been able to get the guys that are going to play the crunch time playing together, because either one guy's been hurt or 2 guys been hurt. Shot by Moses. On the last time down, the Bullet defense did not react quick enough to help out on Michael Jordan.
Paxson hits it. And that's one of the things teams have to be wary of, Bill, is because when you double-team Michael, then you leave Paxson open, who's been hitting the long jumper.
Well, if you time it right and rotate properly, you should not leave a guy open. If the guy that leaves open should be at least 2 passes away, not like 1 pass away like we've done in the last situation.
Moses Malone over Corzine, and he hits the jumper. We were talking to Kevin Lockery a little earlier about playing Moses and Manute at the same time, and a lot of people have talked about that.
There's only one thing wrong with that. You have to use a 4-man offense, because Manute cannot be an integral part of the...
And it's going to be Bullets ball. Moses upset with Hugh Hollins, the official. He thought he should have picked up a foul on that.
Just because I got hit a couple times? But Moses knows he's just trying to get a little help for the next time, because, you know, on the road, you don't get that on the road.
Moses can't get it to fall, and we're going to get a loose ball foul on Oakley.
Yes, over the back.
Charlie Oakley picks up the personal foul. You know what is the most ironic stat I found today? Looking through the league statistics, Bill, the Chicago Bulls, I should say the Washington Bullets, have had only 3 players foul out of games this year.
That is interesting. But they've had quite a few more hurt.
So they haven't had enough people in the lineup, right? Jeff Malone with that last basket, and it's tied at 16 apiece.
See, there are some nights, no matter how good you are, you should foul out. Because if you're playing the team defense, it's sometimes going to call for a foul, and you have to be the guy to give it.
10 points for Michael Jordan. He's hit 4 of 6 from the field. Catledge can't get it to fall. Moses with the rebound. He can't get the fall. Gene Banks with the rebound. To Oakley. Back to Jordan. Yes. What a play.
Outstanding pass.
12 points for Jordan.
Well, that's 250-pound point guard.
Who's been directing traffic today. Behind the back, blind and everything. Jeff Malone working against Jordan. Pulls up and he's fouled. Michael says, I didn't touch you. The crowd reacts to Michael's reaction. Let's watch the Jordan play again.
Great athletic achievement on both players' part.
Jeff Malone at the free throw line with his 9th point of the night. Jeff shooting 87% from the line. Second shot good, and it's 20-18.
Maybe this is the team that pulled him out of his shooting slump.
Well, he's done very well against Washington this year. When you talk about pulling him out the shooting slump, he's scored 83 points the last 3 games against the Bulls. Michael Jordan offline.
Got to be on Jay Vincent.
He's the only one out there.
Yep. So
the ghost got him.
And he's the guy with his palms up. We know he's not innocent.
Charles Jones now will come in and spell Catledge for the Washington Bullets. Substitution, the first one for Kevin Lockery. Michael Jordan at the free throw line with 12 points.
Looks like it could be a long night for the Bullets backcourt the way he's off to get started. Normally, he's a better player in the second half than he is in the first half.
That's what they need, some more ammunition, right? So Michael hits both free throws, and it's a 4-point lead again for the Bulls, 22-18. 3:20 is the time remaining in the first quarter. Whatley, Jeff Malone, the guards for the Bullets.
A kick and another 24 seconds.
Substitution for the Chicago Bulls for Gene Banks, you see coming in. Brad Sellers. Sellers, the rookie out of Ohio State.
He looks like he's about 17 years old in the face.
I tell you.
But I think he can be a good player.
Alley-oop. Yes. I don't even have to tell you who it was.
That sort of speaks for itself.
It certainly does. Timeout, Bullets. 6-point lead for the Bulls. 2:53 left first quarter. We'll be back. Join the NBA Family's anti-drug campaign by wearing a Don't Foul Out pin. Send $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope to Don't Foul Out, Post Office Box 5418, New York 10185. Last field goal for Washington was 3 minutes ago. It's been a while. Don't forget, coming up next, Houston and the Lakers. The Bullets. Vincent still can't get a field goal.
There's nothing like a trying.
Oakley almost traveled. Can't get it to fall. Jeff Malone with the rebound. Here's Whatley. Whatley pushing it up. He'll take the jumper, and it's good. 24-20. Sellers battling Charles Jones, and he can't get it to fall, but Corzine gets it. Back out to Oakley.
And that was an outstanding pass that Michael Jordan made to Sellers. He didn't come up with anything. He didn't come up with an assist, but that was a good pass.
One of the things that the Bullets do that Chicago doesn't do is run. And the Bullets do not have what they call a fast break offense. They call it a break offense. I guess it's a half of a fast break. Paxson
Okay.
26-20.
Fast, slow,
Break.
and half slow.
Whatley on the weak side, all alone over Paxson. 26-22. Paxson working against Whatley. Whatley with 4 points in the game. Paxson now for three. 29-22, biggest lead of the night. A 7-point advantage with 1:10 left in the first quarter. Pax has hit 3 field goals in a row. Jeff Malone for 2. Tip in by Jay Vincent. 29-24. Oakley against Vincent. Baseline, foul, won't fall. And Manute Bol is going to check in with 49 seconds left. He had quite a show against the Boston Celtics.
And against Atlanta.
Last Friday.
Wednesday against Atlanta, he had 8 block shots, and against Boston, he had 12.
12, 17 rebounds. It's not bad at all. Oakley at the free throw line. So Sadale Threet will check in also for the Chicago Bulls. John Paxson will go to the bench. So Manute Bol along with Whatley, Charles Jones, Jeff Malone, and Jay Vincent in the lineup for the Washington Bullets. And Charles Oakley cans both free throws, and it's 31-24 with 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Jay Vincent against Sellers and Corzine, and puts it up between both of them for 2.
Now, what the Bullets are doing right now are a series of one-on-one plays. So they're not getting, if they don't make a shot, they're not getting any rebounds. And their transition, if the Bulls take advantage of it, will not be as good. But with Manute Bol back there, they don't have to get back, because he's back.
He doesn't get up the floor too quick, does he?
Well, actually, he gets it a lot better than he used to. I'll tell you one thing, he can block shots.
For 2, Brad Sellers, Manute, battling for the rebound, and it's going to be
Bulls out of bounds.
Bulls ball, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. 31-26, and the Bulls on top. Doug Collins has to be happy with his team's performance so far.
This program is authorized under the rights granted by the National Basketball Association, solely for the entertainment of our audience. In any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game, without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association, is prohibited.
You know, Bill, he said if he couldn't do that, he was going to get you for running that stop sign. So I guess he did it.
I like the way he read it. He read it with such great authority. Like he had a badge or something.
Chicago, ironically, had no turnovers in the first quarter. And as we start the second quarter, Charlie Neal and Bill Russell here with you in Chicago. The Bullets put 2 on the board by way of Jay Vincent, and it's 31-28.
Gene Banks gambled and lost on that defense. He went for the steal, and he got caught stealing.
Jordan has it blocked. Manute comes down with it and gives it to Adams, the shortest guy on the floor. That's quite a matchup watching those two stand next to each other. Michael Adams in the lineup now at the guard spot. Vincent from way outside, and he hits it from about 20. 31-30. Vincent with 10 points.
Now the Bulls in the trap situation.
Jordan loses it. Concentration. Now a steal. Sadale Threet to Jordan. Jordan working against Charles Jones.
Mismatch. Definitely mismatch out in the corner. Open court, Charles Jones. What Charles Jones should do is take a full step, take away the baseline, and say help.
How would you make, and you know, this may be a moot point, but everybody says Michael Jordan does it all. How would you make him a more productive player?
Well, when they double team, I would have plays set up, that would be the start of the play, the double team. When the other team double teams, that would set the play in motion. And that way, he would get a lot more assists. Plus, he would make a threat to me.
We got it. They forgot you retired.
That's right. Got bad hands now. Bad hands. I would make that the start of the play, And a lot of times he would pass. That would not get the assist, but the next pass would be an assist.
Plus, you reduce his point production, wouldn't you, a little bit?
I think when this team is tough with him, he'll be averaging about 25 points a game. Around between 24 and 26. He will not be averaging over 30 when he's playing at his best.
Charles Jones picked up the loose ball foul. Still a one-point game. 10-20 remaining, and Adams will draw the foul here.
But the way he's playing now, he has to play that way because the way the team's playing. When his point production goes down to between 24 and 26, the team's point production will go up probably 5 points.
Plus, you would increase his assist output.
Well, there are a lot of things that you won't be able to chart. But he'll be the cause of a lot more things happening that you won't be able to chart. Say that the director's assist or block or screen, anything like that. It'll be just his presence will have caused problems.
Now, talking to Michael Adams, Bill, he was saying when he's in the lineup with the team that you see in there now, there are no set plays run by the Washington Bullets. They just set up something. That's exactly what they do. And they just saw Darwin Cook pick up a basket there. And the Bullets have the lead for the first time tonight, but Paxson can't hit the long one.
Well, if the Bullets are going to catch up without a play, then maybe better cancel the plays for a while.
Jay Vincent is normally the only first-teamer in this lineup. They may have some plays designed for him, but that's about it.
Give him the ball and get out of the way.
And he takes the shot.
Not a good shot.
Loose ball foul. Darwin Cook picks it up. 32-31 is the score. And now Jay Vincent will go to the lineup. And there's a whole new team on the floor for Kevin Lockery. Right now, John Williams is in the lineup, replacing Jay Vincent. Banks over to Oakley. Baseline over Manute. No. And here's Mike Adams. All alone. Freelance and all. And the Bullets take a 34-31 lead. Sellers. Double team. Comes out of there. Lays it up. It won't fall, but he's fouled. Nice play.
Can you imagine a kid, Brad Sellers, is 7 feet, and he runs in there, and there's this big guy waiting for him.
Bigger than him, right?
Yes.
You know, we were talking about Manute Bowl and block shots. KC recently said that he is the best shot block he's ever seen, and I'm sure he was including you. Your feelings about that?
Well, he just might be. I tell you, I watched him against Atlanta and then against Boston, and it's hard to top what he was doing. Because one thing I noticed that he does, he uses his left and right hand to block shots. And so he doesn't get a lot of fouls. Plus, he doesn't hit the ball. He doesn't smack it out of the court. A lot of times he comes up with the ball.
Plus, he's 8 inches taller than you.
Seems like more than that.
34-33 is the score. Bullets by 1. They're sweeping the defensive boards, the Bulls. Oakley walked.
And that's a intimidation by Bowles. Oh, that was a good move by Williams there.
Good strip, though, by Paxson. Coming from behind. Working against Darwin Cook. Double team. Gets it back out to 3. Gene Banks changes his mind. He saw Manute there.
Now,
3. Down the lane. Manute's got a hand on it. Michael Adams in the corner.
good throw.
Sellers with the rebound. Here's Paxson.
And the trapping defense again.
You know, talking about Paxson, his middle name is Macbeth. Had nothing to do with Shakespeare. He was telling me that that's his grandfather's name.
And that had to do with Shakespeare.
That had to do with Again, at the end of the game, Bill and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. So stay with us for that. 7:20 remaining here in the second quarter. And the Bullets lead by 1. And Oakley comes away with the loose ball. Brad Sellers ahead of the pack. And he ducks it.
Take that, big guy.
That stops a lot of signifying, doesn't it?
As Brad Taylor shows potential, it can be an outstanding player. What he has to do to improve is take up a few things and decide to do those very well. And not just have a game where you run out there and see what happens.
Oakley with another rebound. His 7th of the game. Sellers to Oakley.
Good move by
That was a great play because
it made it throw the defense and dropped it off.
timeout on the floor. 6:42 left here in the first half from Chicago Stadium. And the Bulls enjoying a 1-point lead, 35-34. Coming up at halftime, Paul Reidy and Rick Barry in our Atlanta studios with all the scores and highlights and news from around the NBA. Tonight they have a special feature. Tom Chambers, this year's All-Star Game MVP. That's coming up at halftime.
Well, Charlie, got you out so you're out here with us working steps, huh?
Yeah. It's always fun. Always fun to come out, and especially working with you.
And see what the poor folk are doing.
Michael Jordan back in the lineup for the Chicago Bulls. Oakley at the free throw line. Michael with 17 points. Most of that was in the first quarter. Oakley with his 8th point of the night.
I wonder how much bigger Michael Adams is than Spud Webb.
Well, you saw them battle each other in a pretty physical game last Tuesday at the Cap Center, and they looked like they were looking eyeball to eyeball. First team back in for the Washington Bullets. For all practical purposes, Darwin Cook will go out now. Now they've got Moses and Manute in the lineup, along with John Williams and Jeff Malone and Mike
That makes
Adams.
for a tall team.
This is going to be interesting.
Even with Michael Adams out there, it's a tall team. He can't bring them down that much.
Would you like to play forward in your day?
No.
Why?
I was too good a center to be playing forward.
Jordan hits it and has a chance for the three-point play. But would you have liked to play it?
No. It never occurred to me to play anything but center. It didn't make sense to play anything else. Why would you take a guy like Michael Jordan and say, okay, now you're a great guard. We're going to make you play center.
So you were a great center. So you stayed there. That's the best reason I've heard. 40-34.
You take Larry Bird and you say, okay, we're going to make you a guard. That doesn't make sense. He's a great forward. Why would he play anyplace else?
Well, Moses and Manute in there now. And like you said,
they use a double post. No one's playing forward because they don't use Manute as part of the offense. He just sort of kind of stays out of the way.
It's basically John Williams and Moses up front. Turnover. Paxson to Gene Banks to Sellers. He'll take the jumper good. 8-point lead now, the biggest lead of the night for the Chicago Bulls, with 5.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Jeff Malone, and he's having problems. Manute swings in with the big arms and sweeps it down. Jeff Malone again with the miss. Moses with the partial block by Sellers, and it's going to be off of Moses, and it's going to be Chicago's ball. It's going to be a loose ball foul.
On Moses.
And it's going to be on Moses.
I don't think Moses liked that call.
He didn't argue as much on that one as the one he didn't get earlier.
Now, you couldn't see him argue, but he's giving the referee
The blues.
the time of day because he talks a lot out there.
He's talking now, isn't he?
Yes.
You can see his mouth moving. Kevin Lockery, what do we do to win away from home? Well, they've got a lot of time yet. But you start to feel like you're snake bitten after a while. You don't want to go away from home, and things are not going to get a lot easier. They have 6 road games left. They have 12 games remaining on their schedule. And they're going to Boston tomorrow night.
That'll
Get
be
it
fun.
easy.
And I think Boston will be waiting for him because last time down in Washington, they beat the Celtics.
9-point lead for the Bulls, their biggest lead.
Good steal by Michael Jordan. He really anticipated that.
Jordan goes inside. Foul. It won't fall.
It was obvious they were trying to feed Moses, and the guard didn't look any place but to Moses.
So Michael again going to the free throw line. Jay Vincent picks up the foul. And Michael, 19 points so far.
Well, this is the team that's been holding him down at 23.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Well,
he says,
maybe
well,
he won't score in the second half.
Maybe I'll get it the first half and then see what we can come up with.
He has 20 points. He is 6 of 6 at the free throw line.
And almost 5 minutes left to see if we can add to the total.
7 of 7 at the line. 21 points. And they've increased their lead to 45-34. 11-point lead by the Chicago Bulls. Jay Vincent, long jumper, no good. John Williams battling, and he loses it.
Slipped right off the tip of his fingers.
Enos Whatley returns to the lineup for Kevin Lockery. Charles Jones will also be checking in at the next dead ball, and Michael Adams goes to the sideline. Turnovers, Washington 7, Chicago 4. Chicago did not have a turnover in the first quarter. Oakley working against Moses. Hook shot won't fall. He gets the rebound and puts it up. Offensive rebound and score for Charles Oakley. Young man from Virginia Union University in his second year.
Yeah, he was traded away from Cleveland, I believe, for Lee.
We'll be back. Every Sunday night, join Nick Charles and me as we review the weekend in sports. Watch the Sports Page Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, only on the Superstation this weekend. Nick will be live from Las Vegas to preview the upcoming fight next Monday between Thomas Hearn, I should say Sugar Ray Leonard, and Marvin Marvelous Hagler.
Well, looks like
Marvin Hagler.
Mister.
And look at
Charles
that
Oakley's
stat
off
by
to a good start.
He certainly is. He's en route for maybe his third triple-double of his career. He had one Sunday here against the Knicks. Jeff Malone. And he's having his problems from the field today.
Because he's not taking good shots. When you have to adjust as much, he had to adjust on that last shot with a 7-footer on him. A 7-footer outside, you got to take him to the inside. You can't. Good play by Michael Jordan.
I even got it off. He was bumped and everything else. And
See, if Jeff Malone has a 7-footer outside, he should take him to the hoop. He shouldn't take a jump shot off. You know, interesting statistic. In this second quarter, the Bullets have 9 fouls, and the Bulls have none. That's quite a difference.
It certainly is. And in the lineup now for the Bullets is Dan Brownfield.
He's been on the injured list for most of the year.
That's right. He had cartilage surgery on his knee. Gets Charles Jones in the air. Sellers and misses. Moses comes up with it. Here's Whatley. Looking for Jeff Malone. He's not there. He takes it himself and puts it in.
And
So
Whatley,
it's been a drought. That's the first field goal that Washington has scored in quite a while. So Brad Sellers answers with 2 for his Bulls teammates. And he has 8 points tonight.
and that's going to be a pushing foul on
Brownfield.
You didn't push him off the court. Push him back in.
3-time All-Star selection.
There's the push right there.
There is Stan Brownfield, number 5, out of Central Michigan. 12th year.
He's had some outstanding years.
Certainly has. He's played only 33 games this year.
But one of the things, the way he's played all those 12 years, is he was always an accident going someplace, find someplace to happen.
Had his injury problems.
Yes, because of the way he played, he had to get hurt.
But he was a great defensive player. He was never known as a great scorer or a great offensive player, but he's made the All-NBA defensive team. With, I think, first team 3 years he made that. And that was like 80, 82, and 83. Brad Sellers hits 1 of 2, 50 to 36. 14-point lead by the Chicago Bulls with 2.5 minutes remaining. First quarter. Jeff Malone finally finds the mark. 50-38. Jordan spinning back to Sellers. Sellers puts it up. Good.
Now, see, Sellers went down the middle as he should have to go for the rebound, and Michael Jordan gave him an excellent pass that he was able to use.
Whatley. Malone. Moses battles for the rebound. Scoops it up. And Oakley tips it away from Roundfield. Jordan. To Banks. What a play.
And that's what I'm talking about. And when I say Michael Jordan's an excellent passer, he's made a couple of real good passes that they'll be charted as assists. When he makes a lot of good passes, that another pass is required. And you don't get it, that won't get charted, but like I said, it can be very effective.
Jeff Malone with that last basket. 14 for Jeff. What a play by Michael Jordan. He couldn't control it, and he knew he couldn't. As far as making a good move, so he saw Gene Banks coming, gave it to him. Jordan for 2 more. So he's doing it all tonight. And you know, he does a pretty good job on defense. He's among the, I believe he leads his team in steals. So he doesn't just play offense. Jeff Malone, yes, he's hit 3 straight. 56-42. 50 seconds remaining. First half of play. Jordan on the floor. The foul will be against Charles Jones. So Michael Jordan will go to the free throw line.
You know, they switch. When there's a pick, they switch. And they might be better off not to switch, because they create a terrible mismatch when you put Charles Jones on Michael Jordan 15 feet from the basket.
Well, he has his 23 points he's averaged against the Bullets tonight. Now he's trying to increase that.
And he's now 8 for 8 from the foul line.
Perfect at the line. Corzine coming back in. Brad Sellers, who's done a good job for
Excellent.
the Bulls coming off the bench, goes to the sideline. So Corzine will come in. Charles Jones with 4 fouls sits down for the Washington Bullets. Jordan 9 for 9 at the line. 58-42. 16-point lead. 35 seconds remaining. Jeff Malone.
Now that was a terrible shot.
He's just forcing them up. He hit 3 in a row, but he forced out.
That's the kind of shot that gets you in the shooting slump.
Technical foul has just been charged to the assistant coach of the Washington Bullets.
Well, that's the way the coach is supposed to do it. If somebody's going to get a technical, let the assistant coaches get there. Let them earn their money.
Bill Blair. Well, he was up and yelling at Hugh Hollins, and Hugh told him to sit down, and he kept yelling, so he got hit.
Do you think he got his money's worth?
He did. I hope so. He sat down, I'll say that.
That sort of takes the
sting out of you.
It makes your knees a little wobbly when you get that first tee.
The technical was hit, and it's 59-42 with 23 seconds. Don't forget, our second game of our special edition NBA tonight. Houston and the Lakers, and that should be a good one. That's a rematch of last year's NBA championship game, and the Houston Rockets have been one of those teams that have been ailing as far as the injury bug is concerned this year. Plus, they've had some other problems, and they're playing the Lakers.
They're all injuries.
They're all injuries. Bob Neal and John McLaughlin will be there for that. I said the NBA championship. That was
Backcourt.
the Western Conference championship. Houston
Real
played
good
Boston.
Pass. Real good pass, Michael.
Well, when you're ahead by 17 points, you can make those mistakes.
No, actually, sometimes when you really get into a game, you can forget which way you're going very easily.
fifth.
You have to check.
Only the 5th turnover for the Bulls tonight. So I'm sure Doug Collins won't be too angry about
Right,
that.
he won't make him sit down. He says, I'm not going to sit you down and punish you for that.
22 seconds remaining. Elston Turner, ET, checks in for the Chicago Bulls.
Elston Turner checks in for Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan goes to the sideline. Maybe he will make him sit down for that.
Throw the ball away like that, down you go.
21 seconds left. 17-point Bulls lead. So they're going to play for the last shot. Shot clock is off.
Are they going to go for 2 or 3?
Well, John Williams is not going to go for 3. But Darwin Cook does. And he fails to hit it. 2 seconds left. Paxson hit it. And they're going to travel, but that's going to be the end of the half. Had a little travel on Elston Turner as the buzzer went off. So, a good first half for the Chicago Bulls. There is a discussion between the officials on whether or not there's a second left in the half. And Hugh Holland says no.
Go to the dressing room.
Go to the dressing room. So it's 59-42, Chicago by 17. We'll be back.
Welcome to the Prudential Sports Update. I'm Paul Reidy in Atlanta. The playoffs are just a little more than 3 weeks away right now, and those who are going to postseason play have been pretty much determined at this point. The remaining question now is who plays whom come April 23rd. Had we listened to Rick Barry last Halloween when he came disguised as a basketball prognosticator, I guess we'd probably already know. Rick, you ready to see how you fared as we go back into the past now?
Well, I guess so, because I don't think you're really going to give me a choice, Paul.
I'm not giving you a choice. That's why we pay you the big bucks to come out here and do this. First, we're going to check out the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. Pretty much true to form. You had Boston Celtics on top, and it looks like they're going to end up there.
Well, yes, they dominated. Of course, Philadelphia and Washington had a lot of problems as far as injuries are concerned, but I was really disappointed in the way the New York Knicks performed. That would be my big disappointment in the Atlantic.
Yeah, because right now they're, at the bottom of the division along with New Jersey, and it's, what happened? They're still not a playoff team.
Well, of course, they did have some injury problems, and of course, losing the coach, getting a new coach in midseason. I really just don't think right now that they have the players necessary to be a contending team.
Let's move now to the Central Division then, where you had the Atlanta Hawks on top.
Well, I'm really pleased about that. Of course, they haven't made it there yet. They still have a real battle with Detroit going on. But the reason that I really like this ball club is because of Mike Fratello. He's a fine, outstanding coach. Milwaukee would be right there. However, they had problems with Sidney Moncrief and injuries. The biggest surprise, however, has got to be Chicago in the league. Credit Doug Collins with a fantastic job. Michael Jordan has carried them. Oakley's played terrific, so has Banks. And also Indiana with Person, along with new coach Jack Ramsey, have been another surprise.
Now, clear up the playoff situation. Now, if it were to start today, how would the
what
playoff
would happen is Atlanta is probably the ones who would not like to have things happen the way they are now. They would play Indiana. Indiana has beaten them so far in the series 3-2. They would prefer to play Chicago, perhaps, who has to go up against Boston. Although Boston has beaten them 5 games to nothing. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, well, you might just be able to pick them in that one. That's going to be a real battle. Detroit and Washington, you give the edge to Detroit if they were to play. Washington, I think, Paul, would like to stay exactly where they are right now, because if not, and they move up, they'd have to play against the Hawks. And the Hawks have handled them 5-0 this season.
Yeah, so in some cases, it's actually better for a team not to move up in the standings.
Oh, matchups are absolutely important.
Let's move out to the West now, the Midwest Division. You had the defending champs, well, repeating again.
Well, of course, they had problems with all of those injuries, the drug situation. Dallas, I picked second, but they're playing even better. Denver lost Calvin Natt at the start of the season. That's disrupted their whole season. The surprise team there would have to be the Utah Jazz.
Okay, and so right now in Dallas is really a clear favorite, probably to get into the finals, I would think, the finals of the Western Conference.
They have an excellent chance of doing it. They're probably going to have to get by the Houston Rockets if Ralph Sampson comes back to be able to do that.
Now, in the Pacific Division, boy, you really went out on a limb and went for the Lakers in this one.
Oh, that was a tough pick to make. It really was. That was my toughest one of all. Of course, the Lakers are playing outstanding basketball again. They're the team to beat in the West. Portland, I picked them second, but they're playing even better than I had thought they would. Phoenix has been a disappointment. The big surprise would have to be Golden State, along with Seattle, who have really improved, and are going to be teams to be reckoned with come playoff time.
In playoff time, we've got more than 20 games on the TBS Sports schedule for playoff time, and we'll get that voice back in shape, and you'll be ready for that grueling schedule.
Oh, I hope so.
Looking forward to it. Okay, thanks, Rick. Stay with us. When we come back, we've got the Player of the Week. Tom Chambers filled in as a starter in this year's All-Star game and became the game's MVP. But to the folks in Seattle, that's no surprise.
This portion of the NBA halftime is brought to you by Milky Way. A Milky Way a day helps you work, rest, and play.
I've worked hard in my career and done a lot of things and scored a lot of points and haven't got a whole lot of recognition. So I don't know if overdue is the word, but I'm happy it's finally here.
The bright lights took a long time to find Seattle's 6'11" forward, but as a last-minute fill-in for injured All-Star Ralph Sampson, Tom Chambers got his break, and the Emerald City was ready to unleash the Northwest's biggest secret.
Tom Chambers!
He's the baddest big forward in the league.
I like the way he plays his style. He's very aggressive.
Jumping up. Jumping up. To another victory. Jumping up. Jumping up. Come on, Sonics, you're the best. Everybody slam dunk tonight. Everybody slam dunk tonight. Everybody Tom Chambers tonight. Everybody slam dunk tonight. Everybody slam dunk.
Chambers' early exit from All-Star Saturday's slam dunk competition couldn't wipe the smile off his face, for Tom knew that it was in Sunday's main event where he would put his name up against the best of the best and hope he belonged there.
There's nothing better than to play in front of your home fans, especially this many home fans, and playing with the best players in the world. It makes it even that much more enjoyable. So I can't describe it. It's going to be the best game of my life.
Supersonics, Tom Chambers.
Early on, the first-time All-Star fell victim to a mild case of stage fright. But this local hero had come too close to lose sight of his goal.
The game is what it's all about. You know, having the opportunity to run the opposite lane of James Worthy with Magic pushing up the middle. That's what dreams are made of. That's what I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to get the opportunity.
Just as everyone was ready to pencil in another East victory, Tom Chambers decided to write this storybook ending himself. Scoring almost at will and adding staunch defense and timely passing, Chambers powered the West to one of the most striking comebacks in All-Star history. And to the delight of both fans and fellow All-Stars, Chambers topped it all off by walking away with the game's most valuable player award. It was indeed a very happy ending.
And don't forget All-Star Saturday next year in Chicago. TBS will be there, and maybe Tom Chambers will be too. We'll be back at halftime of the Lakers and Rockets game a little later tonight with scores and highlights. Right now, let's head back to Chicago. And, well, first of all, we'll go to a commercial, then we'll go back to Chicago. And right now, it's time to go back to Chicago. Charlie Neal and Bill Russell. And Charlie, Michael Jordan, 26 points. It's a lot for halftime. How many is he going to score?
It's hard to say, Paul, how many he's going to score. I'll tell you, it's the best showing that he's had against the Bullets so far this year. In 4 meetings, they've held him to about 23 points. His high output was 32 earlier this year. And Bill, we were talking about Chicago being ahead. What is it going to do? What do they have to do in the second half to sustain that?
Well, they got an excellent game out of Oakley, and I thought Brad Sellers, coming off the bench, did a good job. Their offense was a little looser than usual, and so that worked in their benefit. If they can keep running the ball up and taking the open shot and taking advantage of the fact that the Bullets concentrate their defenses on Michael Jordan when he's in the game, they can sustain the lead.
And there you look at some of the first half stats. The Bullets shooting 50% from the field, which is not bad as far as 40% from the field, and the Bulls are shooting 44%, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Michael Jordan's been perfect at the line, 18 of 20 for the Bulls, and you see the free throw percentage, the rebounds pretty equal. You would think, but looking about all the boards we saw, that Chicago would have the edge there. As you look at the first half scoring leaders, Jeff Malone And Moses, all of those points for him came in the first quarter. He did not score in the second quarter, so he's had his problems tonight, as you see. Jordan and Oakley with 11. Brad Sellers also had 11 points for Chicago, and those were coming off the bench.
Moses tonight is playing like a Timex. He's taking his whipping and keeping on ticking. He's taking a whipping, there's no doubt about it.
So Moses, along with Whatley, Jay Vincent, Jeff Malone, and in the lineup for the Bullets in the second half is Jay Murphy. Jay Murphy, a man who hasn't played in but 19 games this year for the Bullets, is starting the second half. Michael Jordan is fouled. So a change in the starting lineup for the second half. I don't know if Catlett suffered a problem with his knee.
Well, he was still doubtful the first half.
He was.
Yes, and
that could be the reason why he's not starting the second half. We may try to find that out for you.
I think it's through his shooting up a little bit. I think he didn't shoot very well while he was out there. And Michael Jordan misses his first free throw
he's missed tonight. Yep.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to get more than 26 against these guys.
There you see the foul situation. Charlie Jones with 4, Jay Vincent with 3, Jeff with 2, 3 players with 1 on Chicago. Nobody in foul trouble for the Bulls. Michael hits 1 of 2, and it's a 60-42 lead. So Jay Murphy in the lineup. He's a 6-year man out of Michigan State. Jay Vincent also from Michigan State. Moses, yes. So Moses hits his first points since the first quarter. And it's 60-44. Corzine, Banks, Jordan, Oakley, and Paxson in the lineup for Chicago. The same 5 that started the game. Banks, yes, running jumper.
Penetration. Moving the ball, they opened up the Bullet defense so that they couldn't stack the paint.
62-44.
And then he went against the flow of the defense. So that was a real good move by Gene Banks.
This is Murphy for 3. No, for 2. He was inside the 3-point range. Jay Murphy with the left-hander. So where's he been all year, huh?
Unusually see a left-hander shooting this far away.
Jordan, turn around. He had 26 at the half. Give him 3 more.
That was such a good stick he gave Jeff Malone.
And Jordan comes out with it. 64-46. He'll take it. Off the glass, it won't fall. Corzine battling for the rebound. Jordan loses it. Jordan lost the ball out of bounds.
It's going to look like he's going to take up refereeing for this club, too. He's doing everything else.
You know, looking at turnovers in the first half, Washington turned the ball over 7 times, Chicago 6 times. But 2 of Chicago's turnovers were by Charles Oakley, as Jeff Malone hits that shot. As far as the Bullets were concerned, of their 7 turnovers, Moses, Catlett, Jay Vincent, along with John Williams, which are big men, accounted for 4 of their turnovers. Why is it that a lot of teams and the majority of the turnovers in the NBA occur with the big men, the guys up front?
They get the ball out of position, and they have to handle the ball. Here's a foul here on Jeff Malone. The big guys, a couple reasons. They get the ball out of position, and second, they make passes to get rid of the ball, not to set up a play. And if the defense reacts properly, they can come over the steal pretty easy on those passes.
Oakley. 5 centers in the NBA lead their teams in turnovers.
Well, they get double teamed quite a bit. And if they're not good passers and quick passes, they're going to lose the ball a lot just on the double team.
Washington is 1, Moses. Seattle with Tom Chambers is the other. Houston with Elijah Wan as Jeff Malone takes the long jumper. The Clippers with Benoit Benjamin, and the New York Knicks with Pat Ewing. And they get it back. Jay Vincent.
Triple steal on that one.
64-50 is the score.
Triple steals, nobody out. It almost sounds like baseball, doesn't it? they're trying to see if they can get the illegal defense.
Paxson for three, no good. Murphy pulls down the
Jordan
rebound.
and making the other four guys stay out past the foul line and out of that zone where they can effectively double team.
And a loose ball foul on the floor on Corzine. We talk about left-handers. What type of problem does that pose for you defensively, going against a left-handed shooter? Because the majority of the players are right-handed.
Well, defensively, a left-handed player doesn't. It has a when he's defending a right-handed player, he has about a 4-inch height reach advantage right there because he doesn't have to reach across the body.
Timeout on the floor, 8:11 remaining, third quarter, and the Bulls leading 64-52. Charlie Neal along with Bill Russell back here. Jordan, baseline, yes, 66-52.
Chicago went 19 minutes and 16 seconds without committing a foul. Or without having a foul called against them.
Yeah, that's a little different, isn't it?
And that's, I think they're going to call that on Corzine. Moses tried to go the alley-oop, and Corzine caught him in the alley.
That's kind of a deceiving graphic, not the one that you're looking at, what you just said. As we looked at the field goal percentage by quarters, Jeff Malone again with another bucket for the Washington Bullets. 7.5 minutes remaining third quarter. Paxson working against Whatley. Working out beyond the three-point line. Inside to Corzine. Corzine looking for Oakley. Turns around on Malone. Then misses everything. And they're going to stay there at that end. And it's a loose ball foul. It's against the Washington Bullets. They've been against Jay Vincent.
Yes, he was the guy grimacing and saying, and turning his palms up to say, like, why me? That's usually the guy that just pops somebody pretty good.
Jordan against Vincent. Inside. And no basket. 3-second violation. Gene Banks stood in there a little bit too long.
A good play, even if they call 3 seconds. Because it's something that they should make part of their repertoire. Is when Michael goes up to go in there hit the offensive boards, but keep your eye on the ball. And then sometimes he might pick up something.
Corzine broke up that pass. Here's Oakley. He decides that he is not a point guard and slows it down.
Well, see, if he'd gone behind his back, he'd have been free.
Jordan out high. Good pick. And there's going to be offensive foul on Corzine.
Well, not quite a good pick.
Well,
he only moved it about a half a yard. And when you're big as him, that's
the fourth on Corzine. Fourth foul against Dave. And Brad Sellers, who did a good job with 11 points off the bench in the first half, will come in and give Corzine a break at the next opportunity. Jay Vincent. Jordan, Corzine, Oakley all around the ball. Jordan, nope. Corzine battling. Turns around and he is fouled. Corzine started his career as a first-round choice of the Washington Bullets back in 1978. Played there 2 years, played 2 years with the Spurs, and now is in his 5th year with the Chicago Bulls, and he is at the free throw line right now. .6:14 remaining, third quarter, and it's a 13-point lead by the Bulls, 67-54. 73% free throw shooter from the line. He hits both of them.
Now, the way the Bullets have played this third quarter, the Bulls should have put them away, and they haven't.
Jeff Malone can't hit Corzine with another rebound. And Paxson and Banks tangle up, and they lose the ball out of bounds. And Brad Sellers now will check into the lineup. Corzine goes to the bench. 7 rebounds and 4 points for him. Sellers comes in with 11 points. Whatley over Paxson. Oakley, strong rebound. Here's Paxson running it up. Gene Banks. Bounce pass to Jordan. .33 points for Michael. 11 field goals. Jay Vincent has it blocked, and a foul is going to be charged. Either it's going to be Oakley or Banks. Let's see.
Looks like Banks.
That's the first on Gene. So Jay Vincent goes to the free throw line. Vincent coming over from the Dallas Mavericks this year. He set out all of the first part of the season. He didn't even come back until January 16th with a ruptured tendon in his right ring finger. That occurred during the training camp.
The Bullets must have had a lot of injuries because they got a lot of guys that have got a lot of baby fat on them. And that's because I like to think it's because they've been injured and haven't had a chance to keep in tip-top shape.
To answer the question that you had last week, you were talking about John Williams taking the Newt Bowles per diem. It's $39 a day.
Yeah, that's not enough for him.
Jeff Malone. Intimidated, but it was Jay Vincent there for the tip-in. Gene Banks wide open. Good move by Banks. So every time the Bullets look like they're making a run, the transition game from offense to defense breaks down. 72-58. Whatley hits it. 72-60. Michael will walk it up the court. And it's ironic when your transition game breaks down against a team that doesn't fast break.
Yes. That's a bad sign.
Mike Adams comes in, replacing Enos Whatley. For the Bullets, Paxson at the free throw line.
Well, if you play one-on-one offense, it's very difficult to make the transition, even to a team that doesn't fast break, because when you're standing around, in what is a result of one-on-one basketball, before you can make a move to go to defense, you have to flex first. And that makes you half a step behind. Whereas if you're working plays and you're in motion, all you have to do is change direction.
So Paxson hits one of two, 73-60. He has 8 points. Vincent looking into Moses against Oakley. Turns around, has the ball knocked away. .4:10 remaining, third quarter. Bulls enjoying a 13-point lead. Jordan misses. Moses grabs the rebound. Here's Mike Adams to Jeff Malone. Off to Jay Vincent. And it's on the pass-off. They're going to call an offensive foul on Jeff Malone. Said he ran over somebody.
And that's illegal on the court as well as on the highways.
Fourth foul on Jeff Malone. And what did I say earlier tonight? I think I made a jinx the Bullets. I said they had only 3 players foul out this year.
There's the foul.
And they have a number with 4 right now. We'll be back. 13-point lead by the home team with 3:59 left in the third quarter. Bullets shot 48% from the field in the first quarter, 44 in the second, but the Bulls are doing even better. 44, and they've raised it to 50 in the second quarter. So when you raise yours and they raise theirs,
there's no way to catch up.
That's close. Just managed to stay in bounds. Paxson. Swarming defense, more or less. Gene Banks up and over. No good. Jeff Malone with the rebound. Here's Mike Adams running the offense. Jeff Malone going with the pick from Jay Vincent. And he couldn't get it to fall for him. Brad Sellers has it.
I think that one of the reasons the Bullets are shooting at a low percentage, their shot selection is not what you call the
illegal defense there. Almost. Manute's not guarding anybody.
Well, he's making them learn to pass, though. I can tell you that.
Certainly is.
See,
Brad Sellers, no good. Oakley has it knocked away, and Mike Adams goes up the floor with it. Jeff Malone against Michael Jordan as the left side. Pulls it right, jumps it, no good. Off the mark, Sellers with the loose ball. 2:40 remaining. Third quarter, 73-60. Again, look at Manute on his defense. Jordan inside. Gene Banks had a problem. 3-second violation of travel. 3-second violation. Gene Banks, I believe, or Oakley stood in there a little too long.
Well, what the Bulls are doing right now, because of Manute Bol, they're penetrating to try to get the 15-foot shot. They're not penetrating to get the layup.
It's a difference, huh?
Yes.
It's a 3-second violation call.
And they'll make you do things like 3 seconds or carry traveling. And
Chicago has increased its turnover margin in this game. They've had no turnovers in the first quarter. Gene Banks picks up his second personal foul.
And they picked up a couple of fouls. They went for a long stretch without committing without having a foul called.
John Williams, Jay Vincent against Gene Banks, hooks it up, no good. Oakley sweeps the boards.
Good throw.
And Oakley is complaining that he hasn't getting any calls to Jack Neese. And when Oakley starts to pouting, sometimes he does not stay in the game. He gets the temperament, takes the best of him. But he hits that one. Maybe the temperament was good that time.
Or lucky.
75-60. A minute 25 left. Manute with a hook shot. No good.
A little short. And anything short for Manute is unusual.
Paxson pulls up over Adams. No good. Manute with the rebound. Adams from 3. Williams no good. Sellers sweeping the boards. Under a minute to go. Third quarter. 75-60. Bulls by 15. Shot clock down to 8. 7. 4. And it'll be Chicago's ball off Manute Bol. Charlie Jones will check in to the Bullets lineup. Jay Vincent will sit down.
And that was not a real good shot either. Michael Jordan just took. So that maybe that's catching. Shot selection being poor. It's like a disease.
Goes from one extreme to another. One team to another. .30 seconds on the game clock. Brad Sellers, yes. 77-60. 2 seconds difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Shot clock down to 15, 17 on the game clock. Shot clock down to 8 now. Mike Adams goes to it, puts it up, no good. 4 seconds. Jordan pushed from behind and scores. With 2 seconds remaining. And Mike Adams almost hit at the other end. So as we go into the third and in 3 quarters of play here at Chicago Stadium, it's a 19-point lead for the Chicago Bulls, 79-60.
Houston Rockets and L.A. Lakers coming up here shortly. It's been a season of bad news for Houston, but they got good news today. Ralph Sampson is about to rejoin the team, and we talked to Bill Fitch about that.
Well, right now, Bob, we're more interested in getting him into a ball game, get him that first contact. He's had a couple good practices where he's had a good contact. He's been bumped around and so forth, but it's never like the real thing. And 4 or 5 minutes in a ball game tonight, maybe 4 minutes in a half, and then if he feels like more, I'd like to get him in against Jabbar and just get a feel for it. We're more interested in getting him in playing condition and worry about the quality of his play a couple weeks from now.
So we'll see what kind of condition Ralph Sampson is when he meets the L.A. Lakers coming up shortly. Now let's go back to Chicago and Charlie Neal.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. That's good news for the Houston fans, I'm sure. Ralph Sampson returning because they have had their problems this year. Darwin Cook picks up the foul. We're here in Chicago, the Chicago Stadium. The Bulls lead the Bullets 69, make that 79-60. We're just starting the fourth and final quarter. Nice pass. Sellers couldn't hold on.
Hit in a bad place.
Hands. They say that about receivers in football.
That was a bullet pass, so.
Oakley has 20 rebounds already. His season high.
By Williams. And he didn't make any progress in the travel.
He has 21 rebounds, that is. Oakley has 21 rebounds in the game, Bill. And his season high was 21 against the Lakers. Career high 26 against the Bucks. That was March of '86. Gene Banks to Sellers, Sellers to Jordan. Jordan working against Darwin Cook, pulls up, and he is fouled by Cook.
Now, Cook is looking at the referee like saying, why'd you call that?
He didn't do a thing.
He didn't bleed.
Darwin Cook coming to the Bullets from the Nets in exchange for the Bullets not drafting Pearl Washington. So one of those agreement type things. If you don't draft Pearl Washington, we'll send you Darwin Cook.
And Pearl's been having it's been a long year for him.
It certainly has. Jordan makes one of two. 80-60. 20-point lead by the Chicago Bulls. Cook working against Gene Banks. Pulls up. Throws it away.
Good defense made to cause that turnover.
Jordan uses that offensive arm, doesn't he?
Illegal defense. That's what they've been trying to get for a while.
You watch how Jordan uses that left arm, though. When
it reminds you of Oscar Robertson.
When he goes in?
Yes. He used that to protect the ball. Oscar used it as a club.
Big difference. Don't get in the way. Gene Banks inside to Jordan. To Oakley. 82-60. 22-point lead. It has not been an artistic night for Kevin Lockery and his Bullets. In danger of falling to their 8th straight road loss. There's one game separating Indiana, Washington, and Chicago for the 6th, 7th, and 8th Eastern Conference playoff spots. (82-60). So a big game for both of these teams. As I said, Washington goes into Boston tomorrow night. Chicago is at Indiana tomorrow. Then they play the same Bullets team in Washington on Friday. Loose ball foul on Michael Jordan.
They should have passed that ball as soon as the double team got there.
Corzine coming back into the lineup for the Bulls. Michael Jordan, his second personal foul. Charles Oakley will go to the sideline. He's had a whale of a ball game for Doug Collins. Corzine with 4 personal fouls is in the lineup, and it's a 82-60 ball game. And Mike Adams scores with 9:45 left in the contest. Corzine to Sellers.
That's what you're supposed to do to a double team or a full court press. He's knocking on them a couple times. They have a tendency to call it off.
Adams lost it. You have those nights when nothing goes right. Oakley 15 points, 21 rebounds, which ties a season high, and 8 assists. A couple more assists, and he has a triple-double. His third of his career.
Michael Adams, that's his second. 13 fouls. Sedale 3 for Michael Jordan.
Sedale 3 comes in. Michael Jordan goes to the bench. Dale Reed acquired from the 76ers this year, the Coulter.
You think maybe Doug Collins thinks it's over?
Well, you need to, your bench is important, and this is one thing that the Bulls do not have is a strong bench, not as strong as Washington's bench. And I'm sure he needs to see what they're going to do, especially when playoff time comes. Williams
steps by Williams again. And both times he's taken steps on that play, he's been moving sideways.
36 points for Michael.
One below his average.
Yes. And still 8.5 minutes to go in the game.
And I was sitting there hoping these guys let these other guys back in the game so they can come back in. You know, when you're having a good night statistically and you're a starter and you get a big lead and the coach sits you down, you hope that the sub let the other guys back in the game so you get to play some more.
Paxson for three. 87-62. And Paxson has 11 points. He's hit a couple of three-pointers. 25-point lead for the Bulls. Manute working against Corzine. Hook shot, no good. Corzine rebound. Paxson. Sellers is on the wing left. Paxson pulls it back in the middle. Banks down the lane. Back to Corzine. Too much passing.
Too much goal.
Yeah, Bowles stood in there and told him don't come in here. Darwin Cook has it swatted away. Paxson. And there's Manute drawing his position. Gene Banks stays outside. He will intimidate you, won't he?
Yes.
Paxson for three more. No good. And Banks
knocks it
away. 7:40 remaining.
As Banks stood in the corner looking at the ball, looking at the basket, you can see the wheels turning inside his head, baby. Now, what am I going to do now? Well, I guess I'll have to pass.
Gene Banks out of West Philly High and Duke. Senior year in high school led his West Philly High team to a 30-0 record. I meant to ask him if he played my old alma mater, Roman Catholic, because they always hooked up for the city championship. They probably lost if they did.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we never got to play against any Catholics.
You did not. You would have corrupted them. Turnover situation, 14 apiece. Sellers pulls it down. Sellers puts it up. And a battle with Corzine and Charles Jones is won by Jones. And here's Williams going all the way, and he is fouled. And he puts it in for two. So Dale Freak will pick up the personal foul. Don't forget, immediately following our contest, we'll be going to Los Angeles, the Forum, the Lakers. A repeat of last year's Western Conference Championship. The Lakers hosting the Houston Rockets, and Ralph Sampson may be back in the lineup tonight.
One team has really been overwhelmed by adversity.
Certainly have.
And another team is having one of the best years in the
history of the league. So Dale Freak. So Bob Neal and John McLaughlin will be there for that one. Corzine blocks Williams. Here's Paxson. 3-on-1 break. Sellers couldn't get it. Back out the three. Across to Paxson. 6:35 left. Shot clock down to 7. Corzine will take it. Yes. 89 to 65. 6 points for Corzine. Dan Roundfield seeing his first action since undergoing cartilage surgery. Played earlier in the game. Said he didn't know how he was going to be able to hold up doing a lot of running because he only had a chance to run with the team 2 days. He was just activated today. Received a phone call this morning, and they was told to come on and get on an airplane and come to Chicago. He didn't even know he was going to play tonight. He's been on the injured list. They placed Frank Johnson on the injured list. He's had some problems with his knee. Manute. Oh! He didn't even leave the floor, did he?
A little bit. Showing off.
Paxson. Sellers. Is that the Matador defense you call it when you swat at the guy? Everybody is hitting. Sedale 3. 91-67. 5:10 remaining. Not many people have left Chicago Stadium, have they?
And for Kevin Locker, it's going to seem like about 5 hours and 20 minutes.
And it doesn't get any better tomorrow night where they go to the Boston Garden. Mike Adams. Manute. They were going to alley-oop Manute. Whoops. Well, at least he was trying. Here, Elston Turner. E.T. 93-67 is a blowout right now.
Really?
27. The understatement, right? The understatement of the year. 4:15 left in the contest. And believe it or not, the Bullets led in this game. That was in the second quarter with about 5.5 minutes. To go. Timeout. The Bulls take it with under 4 minutes to go. 3:56 to be exact. 93-67 is our score. Next. Charlie Neal and Bill Russell, you see in Cleveland, the 76ers winning it. 116-105. Philadelphia looking over their shoulder at Washington. Washington was trying to catch Philadelphia for that 5th spot, but they need to be looking over their shoulder at Indiana and the Chicago Bull team right now. Ben Poquette, Brad Sellers, Elston Turner, Granville Waiters, and Sedale 3, along with well, that's the lineup for the Chicago Bulls right now.
I think Ben Poquette is just getting over the shock of
playing against Larry Bird Friday.
He got his first start since he's been here at the Bulls, and he ran to Larry Bird on the night that Larry Bird was a little determined.
Larry had 41 points that night or something like that?
Well, he opened up the first quarter with about 20, and that's a heck of a way to start a game if you're defending a guy.
95-67. 17 points for Sellers. Off the bench. Manute, hook. Crowds even behind him right now. Here in Chicago. 2:45 left in this one. Don't forget, Houston and L.A. coming up immediately following from Los Angeles. Brad Sellers going for 19, misses round field, grabs the rebound, and Mike Adams will run it up. So Michael Jordan doesn't look like he's going to play anymore. He's going to finish with his 36 points. All the starters are on the bench for both teams.
If you're a member of the Bullets, all you can hope, best thing you can hope for tonight is he's going to get hurt.
Ben Poquette driving the lane, has it knocked away. 2 minutes exactly left. 2 minutes left here in this one, and Ben Poquette is ailing under the basket. Timeout, 95-69 is the score. Chicago Bulls on top. Bill Russell, we talked about the bench of the Chicago Bulls not being that strong, but when you look at a performance by a young man, the rookie named Brad Sellers out of Ohio State, he's outscored the bench of the Bullets by himself, 17-13.
He's done an outstanding job tonight. He's making the kind of progress I think they expected of him, and maybe a little ahead of schedule. He's going to give them a lot of quality minutes over the next few years.
He's a good one.
He's a tall one also.
Spent his first 2 years of college at Wisconsin, then transferred to Ohio State. sat out a year, had to pay his way for his last 3 years of college because of the in-conference transfer rule. He couldn't go on his scholarship. Just saw Darwin Cook hit that one.
I'm sure he paid his own way.
Okay, 95, 7. Maybe his parents did.
Right.
A minute 35 remaining in this one. Myers. Pete Myers, a freshman out of Arkansas, Little Rock, taking that last shot.
Rookie. Not freshman, please.
Oh, that's right. We're in professional basketball, aren't we?
Well, we just got to talk about college.
You say if he is a freshman, there's something wrong. Huh? 1:10 left in this one. Mike Brown, turn around. Mike Brown, another rookie. Third-round choice of the Bulls in '85, played in Italy. And the battle for the loose ball. 97-71. They're trying to break 100. 45 seconds remaining. Darwin Cook.
Good throw.
So the Bullets will find their record falling to 36-35. There will remain one game over 500, while the Bulls break 500 and go on top 37-36 for the year. Manute from long range. Brownfield is fouled with 33 seconds remaining in this one.
I tell you, Manute is not really concerning himself about assists. He's got the right attitude. Once you get the ball, shoot it. He says, I'm not a good passer anyway, so why bother?
Well, if Dan Brownfield can get back into shape, he will be a pleasant return for the Bullets. Like I said, they play in Boston tomorrow. They will be at home against the same Chicago Bulls team on Friday, and then they go to Cleveland on Saturday. So they're playing 3 or 4 games on the road.
If I heard it correctly, Boston lost tonight.
It's already up to the Knicks.
And they'll probably be very
mad,
inhospitable tomorrow night.
Where was that game?
I don't know.
I'll have to find out.
Probably in New York. Overpassing.
It was in New York. So they don't lose too many times at all. Mike Brown, 101-73 with 5 seconds to go. And that's going to be the end of this one from Chicago Stadium. There's still a second left on the clock, believe it or not. 101-75 as Darwin Cook got that last basket. There's still a second remaining, and it's going to be Boston's ball. This is the lowest point production by the Bullets this year, 75.
I don't think that 1 second's going to make a lot of difference.
And that's going to do it. 101-75 is the final. We'll be back with the Miller Lite player of the game right after this. The Bulls win it over the Bullets.